So we're up here at Wolfwood today, where we've been keeping a very precious secret. We very recently had a new male wolf join us. His name is Terry. He's joined Meg, and he is here to hopefully create a breeding pair. Meg has been very welcoming, and Terry has a very unique personality, and he's doing all the right things for him and Meg to be able to hopefully have a family in the near future. There's a lot of flirting and there's a lot of bonding sort of behaviours between the two, so we are all very excited to welcome Terry up to Wolfwood. So Terry and Meg are in currently a little house area on their own. In the wild, you wouldn't have two packs successfully integrate together, so Terry and Meg have their own territory, and the pack that are currently in the drive-through enclosure have their own territory. We don't mix the two, and we won't be doing that. It just gives Terry his chance to really create his own territory for him to have the cubs and feel successful. Wolf introductions are notoriously difficult, being really territorial, so we took a very steady approach of months in advance preparing for Terry's arrival. We exchanged bedding between the two collections, and we received some wool that Terry had been sleeping on that had his scent on it. Meg was immediately interested in it. It was sort of the equivalent of a male sort of going into a territory and then leaving. So she knew there was a male around, but wasn't quite sure where he was and hadn't met him before. And that was really successful. She really liked his scent. He was as soft as anything when he first arrived, really calm in his box, straight into the house, bonded with keepers immediately. Not something we expected. Animals are usually a little bit standoffish when they first arrive, but he was straight away at the bars, sort of bonding with us, taking feed from us, all really positive things, and we already obviously immediately fell in love with him. Meg was kept out of the enclosure at that point. She was in her paddock, introduced the scent, and then eventually we let them nose to nose. Again, Meg was a bit coy. Terry was really desperate to meet his new lady friend, but in the end there was a lot of sort of submitting and sort of sniffing through the mesh, which was really nice for us to see. And when we decided that, you know, it looked like a match made in heaven, we let them out together and immediately trotting around after each other, bonded straight away. Terry looks to Meg for a lot of confidence, and Meg also looks to Terry's sort of behaviour for her cues. So it's really been from the start everything we could ask for, and he's doing his absolute best to win her over, so I think we couldn't be happier. He kind of lets her get the feed. He relies on her to bring the feed out to him, which is a submissive thing to do, but also bodes really well for if she were to have puppies, that he would kind of leave her to it, give her all the resources and take what he could. So coming into the house is always something that wolves are notoriously sort of nervous of. But what's really nice is that Terry's sort of looking to Meg for confirmation that it's really safe. It's really interesting that he kind of lets her go first. Really gentlemanly of him, but also it just means that he's got a really nice relationship with her and that he really trusts her behaviour. It's her territory at the end of the day, and he's sort of come into it, so it's really lovely that he kind of trusts her that way. Good boy. So this is still, although he's been with us for a couple of months, it's still a totally new area for Terry, and it does mean that when there's typical things like howling, like wolves normally would do, that they howl to each other. And we've got some amazing footage from overnight that we've been able to find of Meg and Terry howling together when the pack have been howling too. So it's really interesting to see that he's already feeling like he is at home and he can call this place his territory and he can stick his voice into the mix. He's got a very unique howl, so there are some notes that he's trying to hit that he hasn't quite been able to hit yet. So it's been from day dot, basically in the stars, that Meg's going to be a mum. So we're really hoping that that is something that we can achieve. We have given them as many resources as we can, given them the space, and it's been the hard work of all the keepers for months to be able to allow this to happen and for them to get on as well as possible. So we're really, really hoping that there will be some babies in the future. But for now, it's down to Meg and Terry and whether that bond continues to solidify, and yeah, we're really excited to keep everyone updated.